So I've got a question for you. What's the best card out of Eldraine? Is it Oko, the card that has all the way back to Legacy started to redefine formats and been banned in Standard? Is it Once Upon a Time, the card that's a free auto include in every green deck pretty much in the history of the game and is now kind of dominating Pioneer? No, the answer is Charming Prince. Charming Prince is the greatest card in Eldraine and my favorite card in recent history. I love this card so much. It's so cool. It captures both of my favorite things in Magic, which is choices. I love cards that let you make choices because it makes games much more interesting, and value engines you can build around. And Charming Prince might not seem like that second one when you first look at it, but using the deck we built, we're going to make him into that. So Charming Prince, what it does, when it enters the battlefield, you get to choose one of three effects. You scry 2, gain 3 life, or you blink another creature you control. And it's that third ability, blinking another creature you control, that makes him a build around and makes him pretty powerful. And we can go semi-infinite with him. Not really infinite, but just create a really powerful self-fueling engine that should be able to outgrind almost anything with just a few rares. So how our deck basically works is it has a bunch of enter the battlefield effects: Fairy Miscreant, Overwhelmed Apprentice, Cloud Conceer, Master Splicer to create golems. All these cards, Elite Guard Mage, all these cards, when they enter the battlefield, they have an ability that does something. And so when we blink them with our Charming Prince, we get value immediately. If we blink a Master Splicer, we get another golem. And sort of the biggest and best of these is Agent of Treachery, which allows us to steal one of our opponent's permanents. Just extremely powerful, and especially if we can redo it with Charming Prince. But there's another piece of this puzzle, which is Lumbering Battlement. So what Lumbering Battlement does, when it enters the battlefield, you exile any number of creatures you control. It gets +2/+2 for each, which is fine. But what's important is it's basically a mass blink effect attached to a creature. So what this means is if we get a Lumbering Battlement on the battlefield, exile our whole board, and then play a Charming Prince, when we blink that Lumbering Battlement, it releases all of our other creatures. All those other creatures come back into play. We get all of their enter the battlefield abilities, and then at the end of the turn, our Lumbering Battlement comes back, puts them all back under it again. And so when we blink them again, we can get all those effects again. And where this really goes crazy is if you have a couple Lumbering Battlements or a couple Charming Princes. So if you have like really any combination of 2 Lumbering Battlements and a Charming Prince, or 2 Charming Princes and a Lumbering Battlement, you can kind of go infinite. So if you think about that same situation I just described, imagine if one of the creatures underneath the Lumbering Battlement is also a Lumbering Battlement. So you play the Charming Prince, blink the Lumbering Battlement, everything comes back into play, including the other Lumbering Battlements. All those in a battlefield triggers happen, then that Lumbering Battlement eats up everything on the board, including the Charming Prince. And then when that second Lumbering Battlement comes back into play at the end of the turn, you exile the first Lumbering Battlement, and everything comes back into play, including the Charming Prince, which you can then use to exile the Lumbering Battlement, which then releases the other Lumbering Battlement, and comes back down, exiles everything, and then in the next end phase you get to do it all over again. So we're talking about just multiplying our enter the battlefield triggers. Not infinite, but many times per turn we're going to be having a ton of enter the battlefield triggers. And when that's draw a card, gain 3 life, or make a 4/4, or even in the best possible scenario, we have a Agent of Treachery thrown into this mix, and we're stealing 3, 4, 5 of our opponent's permanents every turn. That's unbeatable. You can't win against that. that's just going to outvalue anything. And also, sort of as a secret spice, we're throwing in Kiora. One, because we have some things we want to ramp up to in the form of Lumbering Battlement and Agent of Treachery, but also because, even though it doesn't look like it, we have Master Splicer, which makes 4/4s, which will trigger Kiora. We also have Lumbering Battlement, which will trigger Kiora. So we have a couple here, and if we start getting that loop going with a Kiora on the battlefield, that's also another card draw for every time Lumbering Battlement re-enters the battlefield. So we don't even need one of these other card draw effects underneath the Lumbering Battlement if we have a Kiora out. So just pretty good. And just besides that, we just have a bunch of removal, because to be honest, we have to stop our opponent. This is not a fast combo. This is not something where you're going to be disrupting your opponent a lot in and of the combo itself. You can kind of clog up the board a little bit, but you really want to kind of shut down what your opponent's doing. So we have Glass Caskets, we have a Prison Realm, we have 3 Conclave Tribunals, and maybe this should go up to 4. I'm not sure. Maybe running more Overwhelmed Apprentices and running 4 Conclave tribunals might be right. But this is the spread out we're going for right now. And this deck only has 9 essential rares. You know, the 4 Lumbering Battlements, 4 Charming Princes, and 1 Agent of Treachery. So if you happen to have more Agent of Treacheries, you can probably throw those in. You maybe want one more. And then we do have some rare lands, but if you don't have these, just use as many rare lands as you've got, and then you can just throw in the Guild Gates or the taplands, and it'll harm the deck somewhat, but it'll at least be playable. So yeah, don't worry if you don't have all of these. Just use the taplands, and you might lose a few games every once in a while because of it. But I mean, if you just want to try out the deck, it's not that big a deal. Sideboard-wise, we have Devout Decree, Glass Casket, Ether Gust, Disdainful Stroke, Dovin's Veto, pretty important in like control matchups. Prison Realm and Mystic Dispute also very good. So just sort of the standard suite. You might want to. One thing I don't have here, and maybe I should, is Graveyard Hate. There's a lot of cat decks running around. Devout Decree is good against those decks, but it might, if you can get a hold. If you want to put in actual Graveyard Hate, that's probably fine too. And yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the deck. So kind of a combo deck with my favorite card out of Eldraine. I'm excited to see how it does. And yeah, only 9 rares. I'll have a section at the end talking about potential upgrades if you do have some additional rares you want to spend on it or just happen to have them laying around. I'll talk about that at the end of the video, how you can potentially upgrade this. Alright, so on to the games. Yeah, we'll keep this hand, yeah. It's a little bit awkward, but not too bad. We're going to play this Tranquil Cove, get the tap lane out of the way, and next turn we can Miscreant to immediately draw a card, rather than kind of leaving ourselves exposed. So we're up against Cromulent. Ooh. You know what, I kind of like the 3rd Miscreant here. Maybe we're just, we have the God Hand of Miscreants. Hopefully our opponent doesn't have something like Cry of the Carnarium, which would make us very sad. Next turn we do get to scry 2 and then draw a card, so hopefully we can kind of guarantee we... Oh, okay, this is the Stacks deck. Okay, we'll get in for 2. We are gonna scry first. I think we don't want our removal spell here. I don't know how many creatures they actually run. Play Fairy Miscreant. And play this Hollow Fountain and pass. I mean, we're presenting a pretty big board here, and I mean, if they do something like play a Doom Foretold next turn, we just got so much stuff to sack Doom Foretold. Sure. Okay. Guilds are overwhelmed. Oh. Okay. Kills one of our Fairy Miscreants. They're all about the same. Okay. Yeah. We'll play this. Go get a Plains. Play Master Splicer. I mean, of course the big downside here is if they have Kaya's Wrath, we are up a creek, but I don't think we can beat that anyway. Like, if we just sat and held Master Splicer to play after our Wrath, I think we're going to lose anyway. Okay, well they might not have the mana. Okay, Doom Foretold we don't care about at all, yeah. So we'll sacrifice this Overwhelmed Apprentice. Ah, dang, that would have been a fantastic time to draw a land. That was really not what we wanted to draw. Yeah, so if we drew a land, we would be so protected against Akaya's Wrath. We'd be able to play Lumbering Battlement and put all our creatures underneath it, except for the Golem. Ugh. Akaya's Wrath. Okay. Gonna kill one of our Fairy Miscreants, I suppose.
Notice I didn't say fair.
Oh, they're gonna kill the Golem. Sure.
But not forever.
So we're really hoping. Yeah, that's not gonna do much against us. So we do get to kill this Kaya, which is good. And if we draw a land, we're still in pretty good shape against a Kaya's Wrath. Okay, we'll get down. I think we're gonna go down a Fairy Miscreant. Yeah, that's what we wanted to see. And now we'll kill our opponent's Kaya. Yeah, they get to gain some life. I think we play Lumbering Battlements, and we're just going to exile the Master Splicer. so that we can sacrifice this Fairy Miscreant. I guess we probably should have just run out this Glass Casket when we could, just to sacrifice it to Doom Foretold. That's probably a misplay, but that's okay. So if our opponent Kaya's Wraths is here, we get back our Master Splicer and a Golem, and then we can sacrifice the Master Splicer and get him with a Golem. So, not the best Kaya's Wrath if it got one. Okay, just gonna sacrifice this Fairy. Oh yeah, that's good. We'll attack with the Lumbering Battlements, see what our opponent does. We're hoping they just tap out with this Castle Ardenvale, and we can get crazy with this Charming Prince. Okay, that's alright. I think we are gonna Charming Prince. This leaves us open to a Kaya's Wrath again, but I think just running out the Lumbering Battlement and having it eaten by Doom Foretold isn't really where we want to be either. But this at least puts them in a really tight... They have to have the Kaya's Wrath, pretty much. And if they just Kaya's Wrath and do nothing else, then at least their Doom Foretold doesn't proc. You know, we get to sacrifice our Glass Casket and they'll have to sacrifice their Doom Foretold. Okay, there's the Kaya's Wrath, so that was about the best thing they could have. But at least this gets rid of their Doom Foretold. Yep, blow over the Glass Casket. We'll just run out of battlement. I mean, a 4-5's not nothing. 4-5 Vigilance. Opponent sacks their own Doom Foretold. They can start making Castle Ardenvales to, okay. That's actually pretty decent, because now the Chump Blocker's going to have lifelink. So, we'll get in with Lumbering Battlement. Let them do their thing. Yeah. Okay. And because they have so many Wraths in this deck, I am going to exile the Lumbering Battlement with the other Lumbering Battlement. Even though this means they can just chump us even more. Whereas, you know, 2 4-5s would be getting through some damage, but I just, I don't want to lose to a Wrath of God. Prison Realm's not ideal, so we'll attack. See what our opponent does. Yep. Gonna draw a card. Okay, and we are gonna play this Prison Realm just to scry, pretty much. It also is something we can sacrifice. I think we just want to land for this Agent of Treachery to steal that Dawn of Hope. Dawn of Hope is not only really good against us, but it'll be really good against our opponent because it gives us Wrath protection and a mana sink. Yeah, perfect. Pay 2 life. We're gonna do it now so that they can't draw a card this turn. They can still make a 1/1 blocker, but they won't be able to draw a card. Yep. Okay. Steal their Dawn of Hope. Get in with our Lumbering Battlement. And now if they just have 1-for-1 removal with our Lumbering Battlement, that's not great because we're going to be able to put this Agent of Treachery underneath our other Lumbering Battlement. Okay, sure. Brings back our Lumbering Battlement, which will exile our Agent of Treachery. Sure. So now we've still got a 6/7, and if they kill this, we get to steal another permanent. And I mean, even if we just draw a bunch of lands here, we've got Dawn of Hope to start making 1/1s and drawing cards. Alright, get in with Lumbering Battlement. Attack, see what our opponent does. Just a chump, sure. And we get to draw 2 cards off this Guard Mage thanks to their Dawn of Hope. Yep, pay 2. Play Plains, pass turn. Opponent scoops it up. Yeah, I think they just, with this Agent of Treachery waiting in the wings, we're going to be getting so much value off this Dawn of Hope, and even if they do sort of deal with the board, Agent of History causes more problems, so... Alright, so they're playing the black-white stacks deck, a very cool deck. So they don't have... I don't think I want this glass casket. Probably not this Prison Realm either. Oh, our opponent scoops the whole match. Well, okay. Okay, well, not exactly how I wanted to finish that match, but we did win, and they were convinced they couldn't beat us in games 2 or 3, so... Yeah, just sort of outvalued the stacks deck. We're actually kind of well set up because we have... I mean, particularly with that hand we had just a bunch of Fairy Miscreants and low drops, and it made their Doom Foretold look pretty silly when we were... All of our creatures were drawing us cards, and, you know, being able to be sacked to it as well. And so, yeah, we just sort of outvalued them and took them down. So, yeah, you can really see the power of the deck. So powerful, our opponents are afraid of even playing a game 2 or 3. Alright, playing against Hellfire. Wonder if they'll be on a red deck. Yikes. Well, I guess we'll keep this, but double tap land is a little painful. Okay, I think given that we don't have a second Fairy Miscreant, we are just going to go ahead and get a tap land out of the way. Yeah, and we will be definitely glass casketing that right now, while our opponent doesn't have a counter spell up. Okay. We'll play Fairy Miscreant, see what our opponent does. And we will play Charming Prince. Scry 2. I think we'll do it like this. Set ourselves up for next turn. Okay, it's less than good. I guess actually this doesn't work because I'm gonna Fable Passage away that Charming Prince, but that's okay. I think Elite Guard Mage was the right one of those to pick anyway. Play Elite Guard Mage. Next turn. Looks like our opponent's on some sort of control deck, probably. Blue-black mill control, something. Sure. Alright, and we'll just play Master Splicer here. I mean, the thing about our threats is they're all either drawing a card or making 2 bodies, or so it's pretty hard to just straight up removal us out of the game. We'd really like to draw a land here, though, so that we can get this Master Splicer underneath the Lumbering Battlement. No land. I think what we'll do instead, then, Fairy Miscreants, Conclave Tribunal, tap, put the Vantress Gargoyle under this Conclave Tribunal, and get in with our Golem. Fast turn. Yeah, blue-black doesn't have a lot of great ways to answer Conclave Tribunals. No thank you. Still hoping for a land here, more than anything. Oh, okay. Our opponent's tapped out, so this would be a great time for a land. Yikes. Okay. Well, I think we just pretty much do what we did last turn. Cloud Conceer, draw a card. Cure will be good in the future, so I think what we do is, yeah, tap, 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 tap. Exile Vantress Gargoyle. Get in for 4. Oof, that's a little painful. Yeah, Lumbering Battlement, we really... Okay, I'm gonna try to unlock our last threat. Oh my gosh, well that's... Okay, we're just gonna play out this Kiora. Luckily Kiora has just a truckload of...
Serpents. Oh, I love them all.
Oh my gosh, Kiora, can you please calm down? But luckily Kiora does have just a ton of loyalty, so it should be pretty hard. Okay, yeah, our opponent's just gonna draw a bunch of cards. We don't really mind about that. And now we get to play our Lumbering Battlements even if we don't draw a land, which we did not. So we're gonna tap for white, and untap, and now our Lumbering Battlement is going to get to draw us a card, hopefully a land. There we go. That's what we wanted to see. So now we can start looping Lumbering Battlements to draw a bunch of cards. Okay. Overwhelmed Apprentice. Ooh, there goes our last Tribunal. We would have liked that. Sure.
Now I'm salty.
Okay, play this Fabled Passage. Get a land. I'm gonna run out this Glass Casket first and see what our opponent does. They may counter it to save the Murder Strike. No, okay. We were trying to get a counter out of their hand if they had one, which they probably do. They probably have Didn't Say Please. But we can't really do anything about that. Yeah. Yep. Oof, that's not good. Yeah, if they can just hold up another Didn't Say Please. Okay, they're just gonna try to mill us out here. They're probably gonna get there. We get to kill our Kiora, which is a little unfortunate. Well, we'll play out the Lumbering Battlement. They don't have a counter, at least. Although they probably can drown in the Locket. Yeah, so we're dead now. We can't come back with this many cards in our hand, so we're gonna scoop it up. Okay, so blue-black mill. What do we have against this? I think we bring in Mystical Disputes. Maybe a couple Dovin's Vetoes? Would be good. Or do we go down? I think we'll go down... We don't need a Prison Realm. Glass Caskets are good against their Gargoyles. We'll go down an Overwhelmed Apprentice, and maybe a Master Splicer. Maybe one Lumbering Battlement, and run it like that. Okay, play first. Alright, we'll keep this. Alright, play Tranquil Cove. I think instead of just running out the Charming Prince for the scry value, we're gonna hold up this Mystic Dispute next turn. Okay, or not. Okay, so we are just gonna run out this Charming Prince, scry 2. Okay, we will definitely put both of these at the bottom. This is gonna, I mean, when we crack this Fabled Passage, it is gonna screw up our scry, unfortunately, but we'll try to hold off on that for a bit if we can. Okay. Play Tranquil Cove. And pass turn. Okay, gonna need to draw an answer to that. So we will, while they're tapped out, we're gonna play Elite Guard Mage. Draw a card. And pass turn. They can't attack with this Vantress Gargoyle, but they're getting pretty close. If they have another Secret Keeper, they'll be able to get in under this turn. Okay. Looks like they're holding up Didn't Say Please. Less than ideal. I think we do try to run out Lumbering Battlement, though. Yep. Yeah, this is kind of a hard matchup for us. Well, get in. Okay, that's pretty good. We will go and get a... I guess actually we probably shouldn't have cracked that, but I just wanted to get land out of the deck. First we'll attack, see what they do. Sure. Play Master Splicer. Yeah, Mystic Dispute that. Yeah, that's pretty good. So we'll Fabled Passage, crack it. So what we're gonna do here, we're gonna attack with our golem. See if they block with one of their gargoyles. They looks like they are. Great, that's good. Sure. And then we're gonna steal the other one. If we had stolen it before combat, they probably wouldn't have blocked. So now we're good. And they're one short of us being able... Okay, well they scoop it up anyway. We just got too big of a board for them to deal with. Okay. It's a little hard. I kind of want to bring in this other Dovin's Veto, but I don't know how much we want to dilute our deck. Yeah, I think we'll just run it back like this. Hopefully 3 Mystic Disputes, 2 Dovin's Vetoes is good enough. Yeah, we'll keep this. Okay, gonna take our Tribunal. Fabled Passage, pass a turn. Grab Fabled Passage. Go get a Plains. Oh, that's a little painful. So I think we're going to just run out our Charming Prince here. Scry 2. We'll keep one of the lands. We'll keep an island and put this Plains to the bottom. Okay. Well, we'll attack. And rather than play one spell into our opponent's counter here, we're going to play double Miscreant. See if they want to counter either of these. Yep, looks like they're countering the second one, which is fine. Mystical Dispute, huh? That's better than Didn't Say Please. We're happier to see that than Didn't Say Please. Okay. Opponent's still not doing anything. Attack. Okay, that's good. Murderous Rider. Because they have this 1 blue mana up, instead of running out a Cloud Conceer, which would be sweet, I'm going to run out this Master Splicer. Just put a big body on the battlefield. Sure. Enters Gargoyle. Interesting. So I think I'll attack, see what our opponent does. Nothing, okay. And I think we're gonna just, rather than run out of Cloud Conceer, I think we're gonna run out of Charming Prince. And just make another Gargoyle. Or make another, Golem. I mean, 4/4s seem pretty good against our opponent. And our opponent skips it up. They just can't beat the army of 4/4s. Alright, so we beat Blue-Black Mill there. They got us game 1. We just weren't able to hit our 5th land, and we were stuck with those battlements in our hands for so long. And then once we started to counter them, they'd already drawn so many cards. But in the other games, you can see how we can kind of, like, they just answered us threat for threat with removal spells and discards and counters. But, like, all of our creatures are basically 2 cards, right? Like, they either draw us a card or they make 2 bodies, or they blink another card which draws us a card and make 2 bodies, or etc, etc, etc. So it's really hard just to get kind of 1-for-1 removal out of the game with this deck, or discarded out of the game with this deck. You like need to be board wiped essentially, and kind of like multiple times to be able to, for your value not to pull ahead. So pretty cool showing against Blue-Black Mill. So yeah, on to the next one. Alright, playing against the Gatekeeper. We will go first. Yeah, we'll keep this. Not the best hand ever, but go ahead and get this Fabled Passage out of the way. Yep. Go get a island. And I think we will, because, I mean, look, we're either going to play a Charming Prince and Scry 2 or play this Overwhelmed Furnace and Scry 2. So I think we'll go with Overwhelmed Furnace. Oh. I think we'll keep both of these, actually. And play this. Pass turn. See what our opponent chooses to do. Are we against the Stacks deck again? No, okay. We're against a Sacrifice deck, huh? So I think we are just gonna Glass Casket this thing. Get in for 1. Play the Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass turn. Okay, so we're against the cat deck. Fun, fun, fun. This is gonna be hard. Okay, Gutter Bones is pretty good here too. I think what we probably do is play out Charming Prince. Scry 2. And we're just gonna get rid of this oven while we have a chance. So Scry 2. We'll keep the Kiora. Go down the land. Some Conclave Tribunal. And a mana. Okay. Uh-oh. What happened? Okay. It's just a warning about an update, sure. Get rid of this. Witch's Oven. Can't go too crazy with this cat. It's gonna be bad if they have another Witch's Oven. That's gonna be pretty hard to beat. But they only have 4, and they haven't done any drawing or scrying. So hopefully they don't have the second one. Okay. Yeah, that's a lot of draining. Okay. So I think we do it like this. We're gonna Kiora. Untap a land.
Let's get moving.
Play Charming Prince. Exile Overwhelmed Apprentice. And pass a turn. Bring back Overwhelmed Apprentice. Mill 2, Scry 2, we'll keep the Charming Prince. And now we can start playing the Master Splicer to draw cards. Sure. Oof. A lot of damage from this Arya. She can also start drawing cards, which is less than ideal. Yeah, this Gutterbone's going to be hard to deal with, just because they have so many ways of gaining, or rather, dealing us damage indirectly. Okay, well they don't do anything, which is good. So we'll play Master Splicer. We're not going to be able to blink this Master Splicer, unfortunately, because they have these Footlight Fiends, which they can sack at instant speed. Do get to draw a card, which is always nice. And, yeah, we'll pass turn. See what our opponent does. Our opponent can sacrifice a Footlight Fiend to draw a card and kill our Master Splicer. I imagine, okay. They decide not to, which is interesting. Hey, Witch's Oven. Not good. We're going to need to find another Conclave Tribunal pretty quick, or we're going to die. The combination of this Arya. Okay, Cloudkins here. Draw a card. Finding an answer to this Arya would also be nice. Either way would be good. Because that's really what's going to make this Cauldron Familiar kill us super quick. Master Splicer's not really what we wanted to see. Okay, we'll just get in with our Golem. Attack, and that's it. See what our opponent does. Wow, okay. Sure. Pretty good, sure. Then we will untap a land.
The ocean surges.
Place Charming Prince. Okay, gonna kill this Cloudkins here, sure. Going to exile Overwhelmed Prince. Now that we got those pingers off the battlefield, we can start playing our Master Splicer a little more easily. Overwhelmed Apprentice. Mill 2. Oh yeah, Conclave Tribunal. It's exactly what we wanted to see. That'll be great next turn. Get this Witch's Oven off the battlefield, because that is problems 1, 2, and 3 right now. This Witch's Oven. Wow, they forgot to sack at the end of the turn, which were very lucky for us. Yeah. Okay. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna play. Yeah, we're gonna play Master Splicer. Draw a card. And we're going to untap an island. Play Overwhelmed Apprentice. Scry 2. get a... I don't think we want either of these. So we're going to Conclave Tribunal and tap. Get rid of this Witch's Oven. Yep. Just for 2. And then we're going to pass a turn. We're still not in the best of shape. You need an answer to this Aria. I can just play a bunch of black creatures now and drain this for a bunch. At least we've gotten 2 of the ovens out of the way, because that's probably their strongest card. Oh my god. Well, I didn't expect Command the Dreadhorde. Jeez Louise. Yeah. That's like... We're not just dead, but we're pretty close. We're gonna need some life gain. That's not it. Alright. Draw a card. And no life gain, so we're dead. Yeah, Command the Dreadhorde, huh? So our Overwhelmed Apprentice actually helped them out there, which is not great. Alright, so on to game 2. We'll go down these Overwhelmed Apprentices. Let's see. Probably go up the Glass Casket, the Prison Realm. Probably go up both these Devout Decrees. Just bring in a bunch of removal. And go down Cloud Conceer. Cloud Conceer is pretty bad against their deck, so we'll go down that. Run it like that. First. Yikes. Yeah, we're not going to keep that. Okay, this is better. We'll go down... I think just the Lumbering Battlement. We're pretty far away from that. Okay, land. Fast turn. There's the Witch's Oven. Let's see if they have a cat, too. Alright, Charming Prince, Scribe. Really want to scry a blue sword to the top if we can. Okay, Fable Passage is good. It will be tapped, but we have this Glass Casket to use next turn. Really, we want to see anything but a cat here, because we can Glass Casket like a priest or whatever. Okay, well, that counts as not a cat. Okay, Fable Passage, pass turn. Okay, there's Aria. Go get that blue source. We'd love to draw a land here. Yeah, that's great. What we'll do is play this tapped, play Kiora. Tap land. Play Glass Casket. And they can sack it in response, so that it goes in your graveyard for their future Dreadhorde, which is fine. Because at least it gets it on off the battlefield for now. Sure, we'll attack. Ooh, another Aria's not great for us. Gutter Bones. Okay. I think we are gonna not run out the Master Splicer right now. I think we're gonna go ahead and get this Lumbering Battlement down while the coast is clear. Get this Charming Prince underneath it, which is really good. Draw a card. Opponent's not sure what to make of this. Charming Prince. Play an island, pass turn. Good Reaper, okay. So we'll want to kill this priest. Nice. So we will... First we'll attack. See how they handle this Lumbering Battlement. Okay. Then we'll Devout Decree. This Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Yeah. Sacrifice it. Okay, untap a land. Play Master Splicer, draw a card. Off of Kiora. Alright. What we really want here is an answer to that oven before he finds a cat. Sure. Alright, just gonna start gaining some life. Fair enough. Okay, so I think what we do here is Devout Decree... Yeah, we're gonna Devout Decree the Midnight Reaper. Make them sack it now. So this way they're not gonna draw a card off of... If they chump with Gutter Bones, they're not gonna be able to draw a card off it as well from him. And we'll attack with this and this. Sure. I mean, he can chump and sack it to Arya. But at least he doesn't get the double draw off of the knight as well. Sure. Then we will untap land. This life gain is going to be good. Puts us a little bit out of the danger zone. And play Fabled Passage. Fast turn. We're not going to crack that Fabled Passage because I think we've scryed. Oh no, I guess we haven't scryed. Okay, now we're going to crack it. We just want to thin our deck as much as possible to get to a something to deal with that oven. That's what we're going to need here pretty quickly. Charming Prince is good too. Okay, so I'll attack with everything. Attack, attack, and attack. This is going to be a good turn. This is going to be a real good turn. We're about to put our combo together. Yep. So our opponent has their combo, but little do they know we also have a combo. And I think ours might be a little better. Okay. Play Charming Prince. Oh yes. Alright, now this is... we get to see our combo go off. Exile Lumbering Battlement. Bring back Charming Prince. Exile Charming Prince. Go to the end step. Oh, we should have switched the order of these, but that's okay. Exile Charming Prince. Lumbering Battlement, draw a card. Exile, exile, exile. And when that prince comes back, we get to do it all over again. We drew a glass casket, which is good. We can get rid of this Arya finally. Command the Dread Horde is a concern. Definitely a concern. Looks like they probably don't have it now, at least. Yeah, they're digging for it. Okay, Charming Prince comes back. Exiles Lumbering Battlement. Trigger, trigger, trigger. Exile Charming Prince. Draw a card. Oh yeah, Conclave Tribunal is good. Oh, and another Lumbering Battlement's great too. I think we're going to spend this turn trying to depower our opponent, though. So we'll... first Conclave Tribunal. Exile their Witch's Oven. Play Master Splicer. Make our golems 5/5s. Make another golem. Draw a card. And then we will attack with everything. Untap one of our golems.
One drop. Rip.
Charming Prince. Oh, I did it backwards again. That's little unfortunate. Exile Charming Prince. Lumbering Battlement. Draw a card. Exile, 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 exile. Okay. We're not dead just yet. Okay. Exile our Lumbering Battlement. Bring back all of our creatures. Yep. Make an army of golems. Exile Charming Prince. Draw a card. Draw a card. Oh, this deck is so powerful when it gets going. Look at this. Holy cow. Yeah, I think I'm feeling pretty good about where we're at right now. Okay. We'll get rid of the Arya. I'm gonna try to go for the win here. Sure. Kill one of our Master Splicers. We're gonna also get rid of this Cauldron Familiar while we have a chance. Going to also get rid of one of these Gutter Bones while we have a chance. I think we'll... Yeah, our opponent scoops it up. We're about to get rid of all their blockers and also untap an attacker. So, they were just dead there. We're able to hit them for 20 exactly with our golems. So let's see, anything we want to bring in? No, I think we're good where we're at. It might be a good idea to have some more graveyard hate in our sideboard for this kind of matchup. I think the cat decks are becoming more popular after the banning. Ugh, this is not a hand we can keep. Definitely gonna mulligan this one. Just have all of our high drops, unfortunately. Oh no. Yeah, we gotta mulligan this one too. Alright. We'll go down 2 big drops here. It is unfortunate, that's our only Agent of Treachery, so to have that on the bottom of our deck is less than ideal. Ugh. Yeah. Okay, we'll just play Charming Prince, try to scry for an answer to that Witch's Oven. Let's put both at the bottom. Really gotta find our Tribunal to get rid of that Witch's Oven. That card's just too powerful to let it sit around. Okay, I think we'll Tranquil Cove. Devout Decree, that Arya. They are gonna get to sack it, but at least gets it off the battlefield. Get up for 2. I mean, despite everything, we do have a bunch of redraws in the form of our creatures here. Man, they always have 2 Aryas. That's been pretty consistent. Oh, and 2 Witch's Ovens too. Well, yeah, I think we just we got rid of all their Aryas, so that's something at least. We do get to scry off of this. I don't think we need this right now. We're just digging. It's a little harder because they have 2 now, so we have to specifically draw 2 Tribunals. Oh my gosh, okay. Well, we're not getting away from the ovens. Okay, our opponent just had a handful of ovens and Aryas, unfortunately. I think we just play Elite Guard Mage, gain 3 life, draw a card. Okay, no attacks. Lumbering Battlement's good. If we draw a land, we are just going to slam this Lumbering Battlements next turn. Pretty good. I can go ahead and get it back immediately. Not a bad combo. Ugh. Land is not what we wanted to see, so we'll attack with both here. card. We'll play Fable Passage, play Fairy Miscreant. We're gonna hold off, because we've scryed so much, we're not gonna use this Fable Passage unless we absolutely need it. Sure. Their hand has been very homogenous this game. They've had 3 Witch's Ovens, 3 Arias, and a couple of Gutter Bones. That's pretty much all they've done. But it's been pretty good. Sure. Okay. Looks like we do have to use this Fable Passage, unfortunately. Well, before we do that, we'll get in with the squad here. Attack, attack, attack. And we have our combo. 2 Lumbering Battlements and a Charming Prince. That's our combo, so we are gonna exile everything that's not that Fairy Miscreant. Exile, exile, exile. And submit. Play Tranquil Cove. And we've got our combo set up for next turn. I'm going to start drawing a ton of cards, gaining a ton of life. And they shouldn't be able to kill us with their cat combo through gaining 3 life like twice a turn every turn. So they do have the cat combo now. And they actually, I guess with 3 ovens, that's a ton of draining now that I think about it. So probably need something here. Yeah, sure. Guess they got nothing better to do, right? Okay, go to combat, attack with both. He's just gonna do the little chump with the cat, but we might as well make him do it. Yep, chump, sack, bring it back. The cat came back the very next day. Okay, and yeah, I'm just gonna slam the Slumbering Battlement. What's up, opponent? This is what we're doing for the rest of the game. Remember this? So it is. I think we need to also get down this elite card made before it becomes really good, but it's at least gonna be keeping us alive for a while. I think we do outpace our opponent's draining with 2 elite guard mages, but in the meantime, I'm gonna just do this. Okay, Devout Decree is pretty good. Bring back the Lumbering Battlement. Oh yeah, Agent of Treachery is good too. Exile the Lumbering Battlement. Bring back the creatures. The loop is established. Exile our Lumbering Battlement. Drawing so many cards, gaining so much life. Yeah, I mean, with the Arya and these Witch's Ovens, I don't really want to do the math in my head, but I think our opponents still could eventually drain us out. Because they're doubling up the triggers and they have 3 triggers a turn, so that's 6. I mean, we're gaining a lot, though. Maybe we're just straight about pacing it by itself. Oh, yeah. So this is really good. We're going to start throwing Agent of Treachery into the mix here, and that's when that's when I think our opponent can't win. When we start stealing their Witch's Ovens over and over again. Because this whole combo is going to be happening at the end of every turn. We're going to be exiling a ton of permanents, drawing a ton of cards, gaining a ton of life, and now we're going to be stealing permanents too. If they don't have an answer to to our Agent of Treachery immediately, I think we're going to win the game. Okay. Yeah, bringing back the cat. Yeah. Opponent. Oops. Block. Opponent will sack 1. Draw a card. Arya's pretty cool. It's a pretty cool card. Footlight Fiend, sure. We really just want them to tap out here. We don't want them to hold up mana for a Murderous Rider. They are, though. But, I mean, if they have it, they'll probably do it now, right? To stop the combo. So if they don't kill... Okay, so they're not doing it now, so I assume they don't have it. Okay, exile. Lumbering Battlement. Bring back Lumbering Battlement. This is so cool. This deck is so powerful. Look at this. When it gets going, this deck can outgrind pretty much anything. Okay. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the fun begins. Steal the Witch's Oven. Yeah. Yeah, you do that. Go to combat, attack. I'm gonna leave the Fairy Miscreant back this time. I'm just gonna blow up my Fairy Miscreant. Okay. Comes back, exiles our Lumbering Battlement. Get the Agent of Treachery 2. Back. Cards, draw life. I mean, draw cards, gain life. Witch's Oven. I just don't want to die to attackers, so I think I'll leave these two back. Yeah, I think I'll leave these two back. Gain 3 life, draw a couple cards. Discard Tranquil Cove. Okay, Desperation draw. That means no Command the Dreadhorde this turn, which is really good. That would be the one thing that would probably kill us. Okay. Yeah, we are gonna block here just to conserve life. That can drain us for 6. Okay, Lumbering Battlement comes back. Exile, exile. Now we're gonna steal the... I think the cat, actually, as their only blocker. Okay. Play a land. Play Elite Guard Mage. Gain some life. Play Elite Guard Mage. Gain some life. And now we should be out of the danger zone. Go attacking. Hit our opponent with everything. Go the end step. And I'll go Fairy Miscreant, land, Master Splicer, and Glass Casket. We should be pretty safe now, even with Command the Dreadhorde. I don't think we're dead on board anymore. No. I only got 5 cards in the graveyard, sure. That ain't gonna do it. Okay. Sure. That's pretty good. I mean, they got their best combo there, but I think we still win. Okay. What we're gonna do is Devout Decree, the Priest of the Forgotten Gods. Opponent will sack it. Sure. Okay, good. Go to combat. Attack, 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 attack. We're just going to gain so much life here that even another Command the Dreadhorde won't be able to kill us. Whoa. Okay. Our opponent really wants this Lumbering Battlement dead, but I don't think this is going to work out how our opponent wants it to. They can kill this Lumbering Battlement, sure. Yeah, that's fine. But the problem for our opponent is we've drawn 2 more. We get to ping our Lumbering Battlement down. It's dead. Sure. Our Lumbering Battlement comes back. Exile another permanent. We'll exile... I guess Agent of Treachery. Lumbering Battlement. We'll exile everything else. Submit. And our opponent scoops it up. Another trick we could have done is use Charming Prince, because Charming Prince actually can target opponent's creatures as long as we own them, and then it will return them back under our control. But yeah, we just outvalued our opponent there. We were about to play another Lumbering Battlement, exile our Lumbering Battlement underneath it, and just gain 9 life, draw 3 cards, and really just put ourselves so far out of range of anything our opponent can do. So there you saw, our opponent had probably a really great hand. They had 3 Ardias, even though we answered the first 2, they had another one. They had 3 ovens and a cat, so they were able to ping us for 6 every turn between the Ardia and the 3 ovens, and we were just able to beat it. Like, we were just able to gain so much life and draw so many cards that it just didn't matter. They weren't able to kill us. And then they even ripped the Command the Dreadhorde, which is, you know, kind of their combo finisher. After they've gained so much life via the cat and the food, they can just pick up both the graveyards and throw them at our face, essentially. But we were able to beat it. So even their master play there. So yeah, this deck, I mean, it's so powerful once you get the engine going. It does take some setup, and you do have to kind of stall out your opponent so you can get your board set up and start the looping going. But once you do, I mean, for 9 rares, this deck can grind with the best of them. So yeah, yeah, really happy with this deck. Really happy with how it turned out, and hope you enjoy it if you decide to play it. I'm going to do a little section here at the end talking about potential upgrades, but yeah, this will be the end of the gameplay, and I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks. So a great card to include here would be Fibblethip. Fibblethip is, you know, he's a rare, unfortunately, and he's not. He's kind of a curve filler, so I imagine he's not the most exciting rare to spend your wild cards on. But if you happen to have some of them, just slotting them in here is great. I mean, it's something great to blink with Charming Prince. You can probably just straight up replace these Fairy Miscreants with Fibblethips if you've got the option. Of course, more Agent of Treacheries would be good. Deputy of Detention would be fantastic in this deck. You know, just being able to exile an early threat, then blink it later when the early threat doesn't matter as much to get a bigger threat, or even something like exiling tokens, blink it and reset that to actually exile a permanent. Just would be great in this deck, but also it's another rare, so didn't include it. And this is probably the most obvious upgrade to Fairy. Teferi is just a monster, right? I think everybody knows at this point that this is one of the best cards in Standard, if not the best card. And it's doubly great in this deck. It does all the normal stuff, shuts down your opponent's instance, and makes life generally unpleasant for them. But also it can do double duty of not only blinking our opponent's permanents, but also blinking ours. It can, you know, blink some of our enter the battlefield creatures. It can blink some of our removal, which is all enchantment and artifact based, to reset that. It's just, and you know, it can even do something like just get a Lumbering Battlement back to your hand, so you can get out everything underneath it if you need to do that for whatever reason. So, just this is obviously one of the best upgrades you can make, and I think just on raw power level, you know, and make you probably nobody's surprised that this makes the deck better, right? And the last one I would kind of take a look at is these Cavaliers. If you have any of the Cavaliers, these could potentially be good. They have pretty decent enter the battlefield effects. Might be good curve toppers. Maybe replace the Master Splicer if you wanted to with these. They do kind of up your curve a bit, so I'm not 100% sure on these, but something to look into. They're definitely more powerful than some of these commons and uncommons we're kind of depending on instead. So there's plenty of upgrades to make in this deck if you feel like it, or if you just happen to have these laying. You know, if you build this sort of base deck with 9 rares, and then you happen to have some of these rares laying around, you can kind of just slot them in, see how they do. Yeah, so I hope you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed playing, and I enjoyed making it, so thanks.